Good morning students. This is a video for the students of class 8 subject science. We were studying chapter number 16, that is light. This is your lecture number 2. Topics to be covered in this lecture are: first is kaleidoscope, dispersion of light, human eye, in which we will study parts and working of the eye. Next is defects of vision, visually challenged people, and care of the eyes. Our first topic is kaleidoscope. Now what is kaleidoscope? A kaleidoscope is a device that produces different patterns. It works on the principle of multiple reflection. It consists of mirrors inclined to each other and forms multiple images of the object in front of the mirrors. Means there are 3 rectangular mirrors and the mirrors are attached at an angle of 60 degree. Okay, means the setting of the mirrors is at an angle of 60 degrees so that they form a triangle. And a kaleidoscope creates beautiful patterns which change when it is rotated. Means when we rotate the kaleidoscope, then it creates beautiful patterns. And in this, mirrors are attached by making an angle of 60 degree. Means the angle between 2 mirrors is 60 degree. So they form a triangle. Now we will do an activity in which we make a kaleidoscope. Means you have to make a kaleidoscope, and for making the kaleidoscope, take 3 equal sized pieces of a plain mirror and stick them together with a sticky tape. Take 3 equal sized plain mirror and stick them, and with their shiny sides facing inwards. Means their shining sides should be inwards so that they form a triangular tube. Means they should be in the form of triangle so that they form a triangle. Okay, and cover one end of the triangular tube with a transparent plastic and fit it firmly with a sticky tape. And after that, put some broken pieces of bangles in it and cover the other end of the triangular tube with stiff paper. Means now put some broken pieces of bangles, okay, and cover the other end of triangular tube with stiff paper. This is the triangular tube, okay. So inside it put some bangles, means some pieces of bangles, okay, and after that cover the other end of the triangular tube with a paper, okay, and make a peep hole in the center of the paper. Means at this center make a hole. So your kaleidoscope is ready. And now look through the hole. When you look through the hole, you will see beautiful patterns as you rotate the kaleidoscope. This is the kaleidoscope now. So when you rotate it, you will see numerous changing patterns. Okay, so this is a beautiful pattern in a kaleidoscope. Means the pattern obtained in a kaleidoscope. When you rotate the kaleidoscope, then you will see different patterns. Okay, so a kaleidoscope is a device that produces different patterns. And how it will produce different pattern? Because of the multiple reflection. That's why we are saying that kaleidoscope works or operates on the principle of multiple reflection. Now our next topic is dispersion of light. So students, you must have seen a rainbow in the sky after a shower of rain. Sometimes you can also see colors of a rainbow in a soap bubble which comes in front of a light source, right? And in the same way, when light is made to pass through a prism, then it splits into 7 colors. Means when we fold light on the prism, then it split into 7 colors. And the phenomenon of splitting of white light into its constituent colors is called dispersion of light. Means dispersion of light means splitting of white light, and this white light split into 7 colors. Okay, so dispersion of light is splitting of white light into 7 colors, and the band of 7 colors that is formed is called spectrum of white light. Okay, so the beautiful rainbow that is seen after a shower of rain is also due to dispersion of light. How? Because when the light passes through the water droplets which is present in the atmosphere, then the water droplets acts as a prism and the light split into 7 colors, and then we will see rainbow. So the rainbow formation is only because of the dispersion of light. Okay, and the colors appeared from the white light. Means we know that white light is made up of 7 colors. So the colors are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Means this is called Vibgyor. Okay, this is the method to learn the colors of white light. Okay, so colors V for violet, I for indigo, B for blue, G for green, Y for yellow, O for orange and R for red. This is called Vibgyor. Okay, and the band of 7 colors that is formed is called spectrum of white light. We can also show that white light consists of 7 colors. And how can we show? Means how can we see this spectrum? So when you allow a beam of white light, okay, or a narrow beam of sunlight, when the narrow beam of sunlight or a beam of white light falls on the prism, then it splits into 7 colors. Okay, means when the light passes through the prism, then it splits into 7 colors, and colors are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. And this band of 7 colors is called spectrum. This is a white screen on which spectrum will be formed. Okay, we have just seen that white light is dispersed into 7 colors, right? But it is possible to recombine these 7 colors. Means the 7 colored lights of spectrum, means Vibgyor, can be recombined, and when these colors recombine, then it gives white light again. But now the question is that how can we get white light again? So if we place the second prism in reverse position, means in this way, then we can get white light again. Means by the first prism, the white light split it into 7 colors. Means here dispersion will occur, and when these 7 colors falls into the another prism which is in reverse position, then these colors recombine and give white light again. Means it also possible to get the white light again. And how? By placing another prism but in reversed position. Means when 2 prisms are placed in succession, means in reverse position, we can get the white light again. This happens because the dispersed colors of the first prism pass through the inverted prism, and converging back into white light, means they recombine back into white light at the same point. Okay, this is called recombination of spectrum. Now our next topic is human eye. So in this topic we will discuss about the various parts of the eye and working of the eye. We know that eyes are the most precious and valuable gift given to us by nature, and eyes help us to see things. And the eye consists of an eyeball. Okay, eye consists of an eyeball that is nearly spherical in shape. Okay, and the eyeball is kept firm by aqueous humor. Now what is aqueous humor? The eyeball is kept firm by a jelly-like substance, means it's like a fluid, okay, which is called the aqueous humor. And this aqueous humor present in the front of the lens, means it is present in front of the lens. And another jelly-like substance is vitreous humor. It is also like a fluid, and this vitreous humor is present behind the lens, means aqueous humor present in front of the lens and vitreous humor present behind the lens. And other is eyelids. The eyelids protect the eyes from injury and shut out light when not required. So now let's study about the different parts of an eye. It has many parts. First is sclera. It is the outermost covering of the eye that is made up of white fibrous tissue. And what is the function of sclera? Function is it protects the internal parts of the eye. Second is cornea. It is the transparent portion of the eye. And the function of cornea is it protects the eyes and also helps in focusing light. This is the function of cornea. Next part is iris. This is the colored part of the eye behind the cornea. Means this part is behind the cornea and this is the colored part of the eye and it is called iris. Now the function of iris is it controls the amount of light entering the eye. Okay, means how much light should be entered into the eye. It controls the amount of light. Okay, how? By adjusting the size of the pupil. Means function is it controls the amount of light entering the eye by adjusting the size of the pupil. Now, what is pupil? Pupil is the tiny hole in the center of iris. Means in the center of iris, a tiny means small hole is present, that is pupil. And iris control the amount of light by adjusting the size of pupil. Now how pupil works? In dim light, the iris enlarges the pupil to allow more light to enter the eye. And in bright light, the iris contracts the pupil to reduce the amount of light entering the eye. Means in both the cases, the iris change the size of the pupil. And means adjust the size of the pupil according to the amount of light. In dim light, iris enlarges the pupil and in bright light, iris contracts the pupil. Next part is lens. A transparent double convex lens lies behind the iris. Means in our eyes, convex lens is present and it is held at its position by the ciliary muscles. Means ciliary muscles holds the lens. Okay, and which can change the thickness of the lens. Means these ciliary muscles can also change the thickness of the lens. So its main function is the lens focuses light to form an image on the retina. Means image of an object will be formed only because of lens, because the lens focuses light and after that image is formed on the retina. It means what? Where the image is formed? Image is formed on the retina. So next part is retina. Image is formed on the retina and it has light sensitive receptors called rods and cones. Okay, means retina acts as a screen on which the image is formed and it also consists light sensitive receptors called rods and cones. Now what is the function of rods and cones? Actually cones are sensitive to color, okay, and rods are sensitive to intensity of light. So these are the function of rod and cones and they are present in retina. Next part is optic nerve. It is a bundle of nerves that connects the rods and cones of the retina to the brain. Means the rods and cones are connected to the brain with the help of optic nerve. Okay. So it is a bundle of nerves that connects rod and cones of the retina to the brain and its function is they carry optical messages in the form of electrical signals. Okay, function is they carry optical messages in the form of electrical signals to the brain. Means electrical signals are sent to brain only because of these optic nerves. Okay, so these are some parts of the eye. Now we will study that how eye works. Means now we will study about the working of eye. There is one another term that is blind spot. Now what is blind spot? It is an area on the retina that does not have light sensitive receptors. Means in this area cones and rods are not present. Means there are no rods or cones, so no vision is possible at this spot. So what is blind spot? The area on which vision is not possible. Working of the eye. So first of all, light rays coming from an object enter the eye through the pupil. Okay, so light falls on the pupil and after that the lens which is present in the eye focuses the light rays. We have already learned that the function of lens is to focus the light rays. So lens focuses the light rays coming from the object and an inverted image of the object is formed on the retina. Okay, inverted image of the object is formed on the retina because we know that retina acts like a screen on which image is formed. But what type of image is formed? Inverted image. So now the question is, if inverted image is formed on the retina, then how can we see erect image of the object? So reason is the brain interrupts the image and convert it into erect image. Okay, so now when the inverted image is formed on the retina, after that the rods and cones of the retina gets activated because we know that in retina rods and cones are present. Okay, so rods and cones of the retina gets activated and generate electrical signals which are sent to the brain by the optic nerve. Means electrical signals sent to the brain by the optic nerve, because the main function of the optic nerve is to send the electrical signals to the brain, because rods and cones of retina are connected to the brain by these optic nerves. Okay, so electrical signals sent to the brain by the optic nerve, and after that the image of an object formed on the retina is smaller than the object. Means the image which will form on the retina is smaller than the object and is also inverted. But when the electrical signal sent to brain, then the brain interprets the image as being erect. Means it will change the image into erect image and of correct size. Okay, means the image, the size of image is same as that of size of object. It means what? The brain interprets the image as erect image and of correct size. The brains change the image into erect image. Okay, so this is the complete working of the eye. Now look at this diagram of eye. This diagram is showing you the different parts of the eye. Okay, this is cornea. And what is cornea? The cornea is the transparent portion of the eye. Okay, and it protects the eyes and also help in focusing light. And this is pupil. Okay, actually this is iris, and pupil is a tiny hole in the iris. And after that this is lens, this is sclera, and this is ciliary muscles. Means the lens will hold by ciliary muscles, means ciliary muscles hold the lens. This is retina on which image is formed, and these are optic nerves. Okay, this is an optic nerve which carry optical message or electrical signals to the brain. Means electrical signals sent to the brain by the optic nerves, because these optic nerves are connected to the brain. So draw this diagram in your notebook. Now our next topic is defects of vision. We know that people often suffer from defective vision. Why? Sometimes due to nutritional deficiencies, okay, and by wrong reading habits, or sometimes by the genetical factors also. So some defects of vision are myopia, hypermetropia, and cataract. So these are some defects of vision. So let's discuss each defect one by one. First defect is myopia. Now what is myopia? Some people can see only nearby objects clearly but are not able to see distant objects. Okay, means sometimes they are not able to see distant objects clearly. Means the objects which is far from them, not clearly visible. Okay, so this defect is called short-sightedness or myopia. Means in myopia, the object which is far from the person, not seen clearly. Okay, and this defect is called short-sightedness or myopia. Means the other name of myopia is short-sightedness. And this defect can be corrected by wearing specs, okay, in which concave lens is fitted. Okay, so we use specs to correct this defect of vision. Okay, so this defect can be corrected by using concave lens. Next defect is hypermetropia. Now what is hypermetropia? It is also called long-sightedness. So some people can see only distant objects clearly but cannot see nearby objects clearly. Means when a person cannot see nearby objects clearly, then this defect of vision is called long-sightedness or hypermetropia. Okay, actually in this case the image is formed behind the retina. Means not on the retina, image is formed behind the retina. That's why they cannot see nearby objects clearly. And this defect can be corrected by wearing specs in which convex lens is fitted. It means what? Hypermetropia is corrected by convex lens and myopia is corrected by concave lens. Okay. Next defect is cataract. Now what is cataract? This defect is mostly seen in a person whose age is around 45 years or more than 45 years. Now, but what is cataract? It is the medical condition in which the lens of the eye of a person becomes cloudy, okay, and resulting in blurred vision. Means the medical condition in which the lens of the eye of a person becomes cloudy, resulting in blurred vision. This medical condition is called cataract. Means with the increasing age, proteins in the lens begin to break down and the lens become cloudy. Okay, and this condition is known as cataract. And old people often suffer from blurred vision due to cataract, and cataract can be treated surgically or through laser. And how? By replacing the eye lens with a new artificial lens. Means this defect can be corrected by doing surgery or by laser. Okay. Now next topic is visually challenged people. Means when a person is said to be visually challenged. So people whose vision is extremely weak or who are blind are said to be visually challenged people. They cannot see because their retina, optic nerve or cornea do not function properly. Okay. So, visually challenged people means the people whose vision is extremely weak or who are blind. They are said to be visually challenged people. And these people use non-optical aids, okay, like visual aids, and sometimes they use Braille system and also use optical aids like lenses. Okay, why? To correct their vision. One of the most important non-optical aid used by blind people is Braille system. Okay, so now let's discuss about Braille system. That what is Braille system? So it is used by blind people to read. And it is based on the sense of touch. Means by touching they read the different words. Okay, so it was developed by Louis Braille in 1821, who himself was visually challenged. And in Braille the text is printed on a thick sheet of paper in which some raised dots are printed. Means in Braille the text is printed on a thick sheet of paper in the form of raised dots, which represents letters, numbers, etc. Means these raised dots represents letters, numbers, punctuation marks, etc. And the symbols consist up to 6 dots. Means this Braille system consists 6 dots, 2 horizontal and 3 vertical dots in a rectangular array like this. It consists 6 dots like this. Okay, and one or more dots are embossed. Means in that array one or more dots are embossed so that they are projected slightly above the surface of the thick paper. And this rectangular array of raised dots is called a Braille cell. Here I am representing some pattern of dots, okay, which represent some letters like C, A, T. For C, there are 2 raised dots. Okay. And for A, there is 1 raised dot. And for T, there are 4 raised dots. And in this way, they read, means blind people read these letters by touching it, because they are little above from the surface of the paper. Okay, so when they touch it, then they read, means they guess the letters. Okay. So students, we know that eyes are very important for us. It is a very important organ. So we should care our eyes. But how can we care our eyes? First is wash your eyes frequently with clean water. Second is do not read in very dim or very bright light. Third is do not read in a moving vehicle. Next is do not rub your eyes with dirty hands or with a dirty cloth. Why? Because by doing this, germs can enter your eyes and cause infection. Next is if you feel strain in the eyes, then visit a doctor and get your eyes checked. Now next is include vitamin A in your diet, because vitamin A is good for eyes. Hence include it in your daily diet. Food like spinach, carrots, okay, mango are rich in vitamin A. So for a better vision and healthy eye, try to include these food in your daily diet. Now we will discuss the homework solution of previous lecture. First question was MCQ. A part is the process of sending back light rays which fall on the surface of an object is called. So this phenomenon is called reflection. So answer is reflection. Now B part is if the angle between two plane mirror is 0 degree, then the number of images formed will be. So we know that the formula for calculating the number of images is 360 degree upon angle between mirror, that is 0 minus 1. So when we divide any number with 0, then we get infinity. Means this can't be defined. So answer is infinite. Infinite number of images will be formed. Now C part, regular reflection will take place from a. So regular reflection will take place from the smooth surface, from the polished surface like mirror, from the plane surface. So answer is all of these. Now D part, the perpendicular drawn at any point on a mirror is called. So the perpendicular drawn at any point on a mirror is called normal. Now second question, state the laws of reflection. So first is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Okay, means angle I is equal to angle R. And second law is incident ray, reflected ray and normal all lie in the same plane. This is the second law of reflection. All lie on the same plane. Now third question, what do you mean by reflection of light? So bouncing back of light. Bouncing back of light is called reflection of light. Now question number 4, distinguish between real and virtual image. So real image can be obtained on a screen, but virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. And what is the difference between regular and irregular reflection? The reflection caused by smooth surface is regular reflection, and the reflection caused by rough surface is called irregular reflection. And the reflected beam of light is parallel in regular reflection but is the reflected beam of light in case of irregular reflection are not parallel. So this is the difference between regular and irregular reflection. Now question number 5. Calculate the number of images formed when the angle between two mirrors is 60 degree. So angle is given to you and formula is 360 degree upon angle between mirror, which is given to us, that is 60 degree minus 1. So when you cancel it, you will get 6. You will get 6 minus 1, 5. So the number of images formed when the angle between two mirrors is 60 degree is 5. So in this way you can calculate the number of images. This is your today's homework. Question number 1 is explain the parts of the eye and support your answer with a diagram. Means draw a label diagram of eye. Second is list some ways by which you can protect your eyes. Question number 3 is what do you mean by dispersion of light? Question number 4, define myopia and hypermetropia. Question number 5, what is cataract? So you have to solve these questions, okay, and do these questions in your fair notebook today. So this ends for today's lecture. Thank you.